Hey guys, welcome back. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay, if everything's fine. But let's see, FOMC today. Hey guys. Right. Right, we're going to start off quickly with the H1 chart here. And obviously, we haven't seen this done, this pullback yet into this H1 fairly gap. So, we ran those lower time frame equal highs, a little bit of a pull down, so maybe we see some price action moving up here. So I'm going to be just patient today, and I've marked my levels, and I'm going to keep an eye on it and see how it unfolds. But that's obviously the plan, is to wait for us to get up. Hey there, man. Hey, Blue Mango. To get up into that H1 fair value gap. And then, I'm going to take this off. This is all done. All this liquidity has been killed. And we've got this big volume gap, or this gap that hasn't been filled yet. So it would make sense to see price go up and then down. So, but that's what we all think. It's FOMC today. So let's see what we get ahead of the FOMC. I'm just going to stuck here on the 1 minute. As you can see, pretty flat right now on the VWAP, and we right up there. So it's a long way up. So yeah, I don't know. Let's just stay calm. Let's see. This could be a nice target. This high here. There's liquidity as well. And then this low. Just going to mark these out. Right. Let's see. Nice equal highs right here and right now. All right, so the idea is to see price go up higher and then see some sell. I don't know if it's going to go straight up or is it going to go sideways till the FOMC later and then do what needs to be done. So let's see. It's pretty equal. I think it's going to pop up there. Yep. Right, let's see. Hey guys. All right, so we ran those equal highs here. This is pretty flat, this VWAP. This is the overnight VWAP. It's not the anchored. Anchored one will come out after the candle. All right at the view up there. See if we want to bounce there. Or will it actually go through? Just watching price, not reacting or overreacting yet. So I want to look at something quickly. Mark this low out here. Just want to see if there's any gaps here that stands out. Well, we'll just sit and watch. I can take this off. That's also equal highs that we ran in this gap. Okay, so this is a gap. All right, so we ran these equal highs in this gap. That's normally a good telltale sign for direction. But we know we haven't gone deep enough, so we haven't gone to discount to sell or further. So, premium. So we actually still in discount, and you don't want to start selling, down here. So I'll just wait. So we still have time. So still got about 8 minutes left on this first 15. I'm also watching, guys. This anchored VWAP is right at the VWAP now. It's pretty flat. It's not like yesterday. I mean, if this VWAP was staying above it and we ran low and we came back, that would be a nice buy to take it higher. But because it's not that clear, I mean, can't take it here. Has to run something down here first. So we'll have to see. All right, so if I quickly look at the H1, H1 is still bearish, guys. I know we need to see some pullback up there. Price doesn't have to go there, right? So currently it's bearish. It is in a sideways move, but it's more bearish than anything. So keep that in the back of your minds. And 15-minute is pretty flatlined, and now it looks like what looks like a bearish transition here. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see after the next 6 minutes where we are. And if it's not clear, guys, then I'm not gonna force anything on a trade here. So, and then obviously the 1 minute has turned bearish. Nice divergence here. Obviously, I didn't take the trade, but this black candle here, that was a nice entry to take it down. Then if I look at my right here, the second entry was at this black candle, yeah. But it's within that first 15 minutes. I need to do some more work around this first 15 minutes to see if it's actually worth taking any trades in that 15 minutes. Okay, back into a fair value gap here. This one, yeah. Don't know if we're gonna bounce higher or what. So we are making our way down to fill a gap here. We had 50%. So maybe that was just to get 50% of that gap filled. Okay, so this is obviously IFG here. I don't know if we're going to break low below that again. I'll mark it as an IFG. But just, I mean, we probably ran this low here. It bounced off a little gap here. This one here, which is not bad. Back at the view up here, so don't know if we're going to go all the way up again. Okay, let's see. We stuck at a 50% of this gray block. That's where we are. So maybe that's the high, that's the low. So we got two more candles, then the 15-minute is complete. This candle, another one. Nice V-shape rejection here. This could be the reversal we're looking for to go up here. But let's see. Inverse that gap. That would have been a nice nice long there. I'm sure everybody on the internet's going to talk about this IFG that bounced off that fair value gap, textbook A+, wara wara. I did not take it because I would love to have seen some sort of a divergence here. I didn't see it. And we're pretty flat on these two view ups. So, yeah, so we're pretty much in a range here. So, and, but this looks like something that wants to go higher. Okay, and the range is set. That's the high, that's the low. Maybe we just bounce up here and continue. Maybe we come down here. The thing is, we've already taken that high out now. So we must be careful that we don't get stuck into this little range here. So I would not take a buy up here. I'd rather look for something lower. But Maybe this gap here. I was talking about this gap. And we've got a gap here. So a bunch of gaps. And what we got to do is don't take blind trades. Rather sit and wait till you get something that's really, I mean, we just ran that high and then we're back into the range. We could come down, run this high, low, and get back into the range. And if you really want to take a trade here and you want to take a long, you're going to have to, okay, so that's fair value gap. There's the one that you want to target. This one, yeah, not this one. This one is in this range is discount to go long. Only thing I can be cautious about the setup. If you think this is where we're gonna take a long, I'm not taking any trades, but I mean, we literally pinned through the highs. That's, you know, this opening range traders taking the breakout trades, and they will put their stop here at the 50%, and right below that's the fair value gap. So this is trapping them. This is running liquidity. Could even run lower, but maybe it goes and it bounces here, or it completely go the opposite. Yep, choppy. We can expect choppiness today. So because it's FOMC day, just be careful. So this fair value gap doesn't really mean anything to me. This is the one that's important. If you take the inverse fair value gap here, this is where you would go to break even. And you're probably going to target this as a TP. Okay, right at the 50% now, that's where people put their stops. Now we're going to pump into that fair value gap. And now we need to see, are we going to inverse this to go lower, or are we actually going to... and guys, one way to see whether this is going to go maybe sideways today is look at this anchored VWAP. So first of all, the overnight VWAP is flat. Secondly, we opened with the anchored VWAP. We broke below it. We broke above it. And now we're most probably going to... Now we're like in a range over and under the overnight VWAP. So as you can see, we're down there. And like we had yesterday, we ran to one side of the opening range, and the target would be the other side of the opening range. The problem is we don't have a clear setup to take this trade. So I mean, there's a little gap there, but we're inversing that now. So I can't even show you. Wanted to show you something, but I'm not going to show it because I don't want to confuse you guys. If we close below this, at 50%, well, in this, I mean, this is no longer a fair value gap though. It's a gap, but it's not a gap that we should say it's fair value, because it's like breaking up and down. And I can tell you guys one thing, even if you sit here and so I'm looking at this, so this high and this high, that's divergence on my side. But I'm not taking the short. And the entry would have been this down candle here. I mean, we did not inverse, we haven't inversed that yet, but that would have been the short. But I'm not taking it because we could see a sideways move of note here. And if there's no trade for me today, then, I mean, so be it. And if you tried or decide to take a trade, then just be very careful, guys. Scalp, quick points, quick in and out. No home runs, base hits. Too choppy, yes. If it's too choppy, then stick to your word and don't take anything. All you're going to do now is look at price, read price, and make notes if you have to. But here you can see the two VWAPs right at each other, and we go spike up, spike low, spike up, spike low. This is where people try to catch a quick trade, to say we, on this big white candle, we buy at 50%, put our stops here and target this high. Others will say, no, we put our stop up here, we target this low. So that makes sense. But here you can see where price is telling you we're going long, we're going short, long, short, but we're stuck. And we most probably will go down to these two levels. But I mean, if there was one trade, I'm not going to say we should have traded, is probably this one where we bounce off this fair value gap, inverse entry there, stop there. When we broke above that, you go to break even and you take a profit up there. But this was in the first 15 minutes. So that's quite tricky. It's FOMC, so I'm not breaking my head over that. So, and I know if I'm going on social media, everybody's going to say this was A plus, it was the best trade, blah 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 blah. But yeah. I mean, the other thing is, if some of you guys took the short here, good on you, or took the long here, good on you. I'm not going to say it's the wrong trade. It's just not the trade for me, basically. All right, so I'm taking all of these gaps off because we already inversed them a couple of times. So the target here is definitely this this range low, where we are right now, and then we've got a low here. All right, so okay, now that we see this play out, I'm going to jump over to the 1 hour just to explain the bias quickly. All right, on the 1 hour, I know price is dropping here, but we had a divergence here. We dropped yesterday. I was expecting a pullback into, this is all bearish, a pullback into this H1 fair value gap. So we got a pullback. We went down. We went up again. So I thought we're going to open. We're going to go up there. And then I'll look for shorts into this nice gap down here. But obviously we've got 2 minutes for this to close. Then I think this is pretty bearish now. So yeah, so I'll be bearish to these levels here. I mean, 50% is a level. This 3100 is a level. And maybe 50% of this, about a 30,000, it could be a nice target here. But 50% is conservative. Or this, even this 30,100. Okay. But I also keep in mind not to, confuse everybody, but we still haven't gone up here to, to test, get into a premium level to sell off. That's the H1 fair value gap. And I could not just sell here. It looks a bit all over the place to me, so hey Kenny. And I guess the other thing that threw me off taking any trades now was the fact that the anchored VWAP went, the VWAP was pretty flat. We broke below, broke above, broke below. So, I mean, this could come all the way back into this opening range. But, I mean, that's a swing. Didn't run any liquidity there. Broke down. Yes, we could look for shorts here, but yeah, I don't know if I'm going to take any shorts here. Because the last liquidity was up here. So it's probably this family gap here. I'm just worried that when price gets back in there that we might go sideways. Guys, if I'm too conservative or too scared, don't let that put you off. If you're aggressive and you want to take the trades, you're welcome to. I'm not saying don't take trades. Like we said, there was a short there, even if we went sideways, where you put your stop target down here. I just didn't take it. And that was divergent. But this was also a good trade. Right. Okay, we're getting closer, yeah. Only problem is we keep going lower without those necessary pullbacks. And I don't want to be that one walking away from trading today saying, oh gosh, guys, I lost a percent and it was too choppy, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I knew what I was in for. And I did say earlier, if I miss any trades, then so be it. It's always tomorrow and Friday and next week and the week after. So, not going to rush it. I mean, I always think about it this way. Let's go back to the 1 hour. So I always think about it this way. Where's the 1 hour chart? Sorry, give me a second. All right. So if you were a guy with, well, let's call it smart money, you got lots of money, and this is a gap that needs to be filled, and we sold off from here, and here you took some profits. Where are you going to try to sell again? You're not going to try sell here where you just took profits. Then you would have just kept your position. You want the market to make a meaningful pullback, which is up here, to start, obviously take some shorts back to an area of good interest. So just always try to think about it that way. Yes, will the market just go there? Of course, I mean, the market can do whatever it wants, right? But you got to see this differently, as if you are a smart money trader with billions and billions of dollars. Where would you find the value to take a short? You're not going to take a short here. You're not going to take a short there, because I'll show you. Because if the market is going higher, I mean, you take a short here to literally make a small move and take profit. You're going to want to go up here and then come down to this area. You want to make the most money you can. And remember, trading is a psychological game. Sometimes it's going to go there, and then you're going to sit back and say, Neil was talking shit. That doesn't work. So is Friday a public holiday in the US? Okay, let me go Google quickly. Entry point to what? Entry point. All right, well, let me see. Is Friday, what's Friday's date? Sorry, it's the 19th of June. Is 19 June there you go, in the US? Yes, it's an official federal public holiday in the US, known as Independence Day. All right, great catch. Thanks there for John Swan. B. John Swan. Thanks for that. All right, so obviously Friday, then there won't be any live streams. It's public holiday, Independence Day, and we might, because of that short day, short week, so we might see today and tomorrow more aggressive moves to catch up for Friday, and or we see it on Monday. So, yeah, let's see. But guys, even though we now know it's a public holiday and there's one day less trading, and you all get fears in your mind that you're not going to be able to make money on one more day, doesn't mean you got to go in 4 straights now. Guys, next week it's still there. There's new opportunities. Gosh, what day is it? I just saw something about Independence Day. Let me copy it and you guys can just... June... What? Yes. Honest... what it's called? Sorry, now it's jumping to something else. I thought I saw Independence Day. Sorry, I don't know the... Gosh. Just give me a second. I don't want to give you guys the wrong information. I know it's a public holiday, that we all know now. What is... I mean, it was here. It's this. Okay. All right. So I just see Independence Day. Sorry, guys. Yes, 4th of July. I know there was something on 4th of July. And what is Trump doing on the 4th of July? Retire everybody or something. I don't know. All right. So I'll get a good calendar going that we... I'll put it on Discord. I'll go and have a look. Because these public holidays is quite important. But anyway, so I don't know what this is then. Sorry, guys. Okay, so even if, I mean, I've pasted that from Google. So even if that's wrong, guys, just disregard it. The main thing is, main point is no trading day. Thanks for the help. All right, so let's see what happened while we were trying to figure, or I was trying to figure this out. Pretty much, I mean, people would see this as a bear flag, pull up, and okay, so someone said earlier we had the entry point. That is an entry point. The only problem I've got with this entry point is this swing point. Did not run any liquidity. But maybe this still works. I don't know. All right, so this is the 10 a.m. Open, the 1 hour. So it could be a pullback and expansion down, and that's just because if you look at the H1 here, we ran liquidity on the previous candle and closed below all of this. So this is pretty bearish. We could see a test at that area right now. Let's see what that is. That's the area right here, which is in this fair value gap. But and the VWAPs has crossed over. I'm not saying this is a short. I'm just saying be careful. On a normal trading day, I would read it as that and look for an opportunity to take a short. Mm-hmm. Hey guys, let me hear about from you guys if you have taken any trades. If you took any trades, let us know. Let's look at the setups. All right, so some people say this is a nice bear flag, ran liquidity. If we go and close below these white candles now, then we'll take a short and try to write it down. Mm-hmm. Yep, same here. No trades. No trades. See, now we're inversing this gap here, and see why I don't like that high, because the liquidity is up here. And like I said, guys, we might break down here, but when we get back into this opening range, I've seen price. This is the magnet. That 50% is the magnet. Seen it too many times. And I'm not going to risk a trade or my chances today. Right, wait, someone took a trade. All right, so you took a short on that 50% retest. Okay, so you took a short. So we ran the high, and this is the reason behind this, guys. People take the breakout, and then we come down to 50%. A good entry then, like I said earlier, is to take a short here, but then you put your stop above there because we've already tested it and, obviously target the opposite of that opening range. So good to see someone actually took this. I did not, but good for you, man. Yes, I'm in a new contract, guys. I've changed my charge. As you can see, I'm in the September contracts. I did it from yesterday in the PM session. The only difference now is I don't have all my liquidity marked out on this. Remember, we got like 1 million sell side liquidity. If I can show you guys quickly. Oh gosh, we're not going to see it. Yeah. I'll have to get on a 1 hour candle or chart. It will only be, well, the fact that yours worked out, it's good. I mean, I looked at it before a while back, where I looked at the opening range as a strategy to the strategy. What I traded yesterday, that's a strategy, but also the breakout of this. And I was like, yeah, where do I see a breakout, a test to go higher, or when it actually turned? Then I've noticed this last few months, we've been targeting both sides of the opening range quite often. And then I started using these VWAPs and did some research. And there's just a little bit of a strategy going here to target both sides under very specific conditions. So yesterday was the right conditions. It took a while, but we got it. Today was like a 50-50. And it was one of those days that I was like, I mean, I spoke about it. I don't know if it was a week or two in the PM session. I said I'm going to do some testing on the opening range to see, and I did do a rough test for the last 30 setups, where basically not 30 setups, 30 opening ranges, and 60, I think it was 63%. I know it's a small, I mean, it's a handful of setups, so you need to go back much further. 63% of the time, it tested both sides. I then had to go and try figure out, how do I increase that? What needs to be true for a higher probability of having? So there's 3 different setups. One that's got a high probability, and then one that's got a very low probability, and then one that's 50-50. And I can show you guys. All right, so while we wait for that, let's jump to this quickly, and I'll show you guys what I have found. Guys, please test this on your own accord. Don't hold me accountable for this. Why is this not showing here? Let me just see something on the settings. Show historical. Let's see. Oh, sorry guys, I've been stupid. 15. This was today. All right, then I brought in a 50 simple moving average. So when the high and the low is pretty much, the 50 simple moving average is within that range, then it's a 50-50 that it will run both sides. when it's on the bottom end, I mean, this is still, it's close to the top. There's a very good chance that you'll see it run both sides, and that candle there barely touched it, so that was the high. So there was a good chance that we will see a test on both sides. And when you are in trending mode and you create the orb, it's very rarely that you'll see a bounce back to the bottom. It literally go to the 50% and just expand. So it all depends on where you are. Are you in a trending mode? Are you switching trends? And we had divergence here, so this was a good one that I was expecting. And then if you flat, I mean, it can happen, it can't happen. It doesn't have to. So that's the three things, observations that I've got. Obviously, like I said, got to do way more backtesting or data for it to stand out or to hold. And then obviously you got to forward test these things as well. Steve, how's it, man? Welcome, welcome. You missed absolutely nothing. Unless you were brave. I mean, FOMC today, so also, Steve, there's no live stream on Friday because of the public holiday in the US. And so we'll be today and tomorrow. And so we are back at the top of the opening range. If Kenny is still online here, if we took the short there, we would have been stopped out. All right, so yep, I wanted to go higher as well. I expected this to happen to, let me go to the H1, to this fair value gap up here, and then come and do something at this gap. Now, made a low, made a high, made a low, did not get close to that, and now it looks like it's turning. And we possibly could either, keep consolidating here till FOMC later and run that high, well, into that fair value gap and maybe get some nice sell-off. But yes, we'll have to wait and see. All right, so let's see. We're back here. And its VWAPs are still pretty flat. Overnight's still flat. The blue has changed, and probably going to change again. So 624. All right, so someone is looking for 624. Why 624? I'm not questioning you. I'm just trying to think. Is it this fair value gap here? What about all this liquidity? All this liquidity. I mean, there's some equal highs right there. Yeah, this. I mean, I'm going to mark this out. Yeah, just I mean, if you guys say something, I'm going to ask why, because obviously not because I don't trust what you say. I just want to understand and see if there's something I've missed. like I've missed a gap the other day, and it actually cost me just because I was blind to it. Yeah, I'm worried that this opening range high and low is just going to keep price sideways till later. Okay, 50% of choosers move. All right, so I'm with you on that. The reason I'm not just targeting that, I'm looking for if there's a 50% or equilibrium, I look and see where's the closest fair value gap, and that's where I normally think we would go to sell from. But yeah, 50% is good. Mhm. Yeah, that was the weirdest thing. I mean, I saw it creeping up nicely, and I was like, okay, we'll get there. New York Open will probably sell off from there, and then we see this drop up and drop, and now we're up again. So just want to show you guys the fair value gap Steve's talking about. It's this one right here. Gosh. Right there. Okay, so then and also what we said, that's 50% is at 624. That's the one. So even on my lower time frame, just to explain that is if I've got a bearish move expecting a pullback, I always mark out 50%. I won't target if I want to go short, I won't target take a short in fair value gaps below 50%. I'll look for the closest one above it. If the fair value gap was overlapping with 50, then I'll just hit the 50%. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take this fair value gap off because we still got a gap here, but also this one. Gone through all of that already. Yeah. And back into the range, 50%, guys. Like we said. Up and down, up and down. So we actually went higher here. All right, we'll just be patient. Patience, patience, guys. Just be patient. We're gonna get some nice entries, guys. Just you wait. Oh gosh. So I see Trump says Iran's MOU is not final. If I don't like the agreement, we go back to dropping bombs. Oh my word. This war is like seesaw, going up, coming down, going up, coming down. Alright, so let's see. Next week we don't have much. We only got CPI on Thursday. So not much of news. Break even. Where did you enter? Were you in a trade? Or you? Well, this could be the bounce, could be a bounce, not the bounce. Oi. Imagine, guys, if some of us took some trades here. I know some people make money, but I know there's some people here that's stuck in this range and losing money now. Because they try 1 minute, I think it's going short, then it's long, and now it's back short. Guys, the other thing is when you sit in front of your charts, you don't have to high five you every time you take a winning trade. I mean, the fact that if you look at a chart and you're like, I'm not trading today, price is looking not great, and it did not deliver great. I mean, and you stayed out, you should high five you for that as well, because that's a win as well. You didn't make money, but psychologically you made a good decision. I mean, you've got. I mean, I had a bunch of reasons why I'm staying out, and that was my personal opinion. I can't tell you guys. I mean, I've been where I was sitting with a bunch of traders and I look at the market, I don't see anything for me to take, and then I see everybody's taking trades and everybody's making money. And I'm like, what in the world? And the minute I pull the trigger, I'm the one losing. And then the minute I pull the trigger, everybody's like, yeah, glad we were out of those trades. And I'm like, gosh. But I've learned my lessons with that. So um, I high five people who makes money, in conditions like this. I know I can't. That's just that's just a fact. And statistically, I think everybody knows it by now. I'm at best break even FOMC week. For some odd reason, I end up losing money or I end up breaking even. Okay. Thanks, Steve. All right. Okay, dokie. Let's see. Are we at the bottom of the opening range? Are we going back up? What's it going to be? All right, so we're out through that gap that I marked out earlier. I mean, I don't even know if it's worth marking all of this out because we're not looking for a trade here. Pretty quiet because we just going from top to bottom, bottom to top. I always look at this market after the fact and I'm like, hey, if I knew it was going sideways, why didn't I just sell the tops and buy the bottom of that opening range with an open stop? But in reality, that doesn't work like that. Because I'll take the first short or the long, and then the market will drop like to doomsday. My hands aren't numb anymore. It's like literally dead. Mm-hmm. I wonder if you find the right way of instructing AI to go back in time and look at absolutely every indicator and strategy that's in the market that it can find and run it against the data to find not on those strategies what parts and what about price can be I don't know, unciphered to be the absolute best entry and setup that you can take to make the most money. I wonder if there's a prompt like that. I mean, to crack that code. I know price is fractal. It's I don't want to say it's random, but it's manipulated, all of that. But if there was one thing that it can give you the steps to say, all you got to look for is X, Y, and Z, and you won't find it every day, or maybe you find it every day. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Now everybody thinks, jump on the cells, jump on the cells. And then it's going to pull back to the other side. Or maybe I'm wrong. Oh my word. What did Trump do now? Mm-hmm. 160 points. Look, we're either going to break that low and go in here, or we're going to reverse, take that high out and go up again. I see big candles like this. And now we've got nice equal lows there, relatively equal. So now in my mind, I'm thinking, it would make sense now to leave it there and go up. And then FOMC sends it down. Dun, dun, ta, 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 ta. Going into the macro now in 876, 5 seconds. All right, so we've got a nice family gap. Right there, there's nice liquidity there. So I think just clip it back up there. No. Nope, it's not. Come on, take us back up. Back up. Didn't break the low. Which low? This low that's marked out in this black line. So I'll mark this out because we've got this big gap. That swing point there, this little low that literally, just literally 1-2 points pin it. I'm saying that's the liquidity. Because you want to see at least price go into this 25%, 50%, or even 75%. So, yeah, and I think if we look at this, the gap's closed. That new day opening gap. I used to trade those. Yep. I used to trade those gaps, but then I stopped. Right. Yep, the new, and that's part of that blue box below. Nice. Yeah, it's a big gap. Mm-hmm. 10 points. I mean, maybe 20 points. Not putting us, well, let's see. I just want to mark that out. I'm looking at something. Don't worry about it. So it is inversing this gap. Oh. I'm looking at this high and this high as liquidity. And manipulation, if we break up here, we might go to that high. Dee-da, 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 dee-da. All right, guys, I don't know if there's anything else to say here. I think I'll see you guys in the PM session. I'll see if I can start slightly earlier so we can see. No, I'll start at 2 p.m. That's fine. Might be 5 minutes early, and then we can see how the FOMC plays out, and then see what we can find, if any. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot for sticking around. See you guys a bit later, and don't overtrade. Just be safe. See you guys now. Bye-bye.